Let's do this. Music.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime now.
There we go.
Now proudly brings to you the GTS Podcast, Guys Talking Smack, the show where we review whether Smackdown was a smack up, smack downer, or a smack in the face. This is your boy EJ the King.
It's your guy J.Fields.
And Smackdown took place this weekend.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Home of them Steelers. Home of the Penguins.
Home of Kurt Angle.
Home of Kurt Angle, the
Olympic gold medalist.
This is true. It's true.
It's damn true.
It's damn true. All right. Well, before we get down to the SmackDown rundown of the show, J.Fields, do you have a match to watch for?
Yes, sir. I was blown away by this match. Progress Wrestling. This was chapter 44. Old Man Yells at the Cloud. This is Shane Strickland versus Mark Andrews. You may be familiar with Mark Andrews from the UK tournament. He had the semifinal match with Pete Dunne, and then he had a Pete Dunne match with Pete. He had a match with Pete Dunne on NXT about a week or so ago. The guy can go. Yeah. And Shane Strickland, he's one of the hottest names on the indies. When I tell you that these two like killed it, like I'm going to watch this match probably another 10 times between now and probably WrestleMania. It was that good. I'm talking about two high flyers. They started the match, ground, two high flyers basically doing like mat wrestling, like just testing each other out with holes. And then when the match picked up, I'm talking about like they just hit big move after big move, like they was beating the hell out of each other. Like, and I'm seeing stuff that I'm just like, wow, like literally sitting on the edge of my seat. Like, one thing about Progress, if you've never checked it out, like one thing about Progress is like they put on a great show from the opening match to the last match, and everything in between is really good. Like they don't just try to pump it all into the main event. Like they come out from the time that the people arrive at the arena to like literally like give the best show possible. Like everybody's going in. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like check it out. Like one of the best matches I've seen all year.
Okay. Mark Andrews and
Shane Strickland.
All right, we'll put it in the show notes. We'll start doing that more often, putting the match to watch for in the show notes on the website and on YouTube and everything else. So we'll be sure to check that out. News and rumors. You got anything?
I don't have anything. What about you?
It's kind of dead this week. Nothing too popping off too much. But Eric Rowan was backstage at Smackdown. He's cleared to return back to the ring. I know on Twitter and probably I think on a couple of social media websites, he's had like a little promo package videos of him burying his little sheet mask. So probably getting a gimmick change. I don't know what they're possibly going to do with him. But yeah, I mean, his character really hasn't been missed, especially, since the breakup of the whole Wyatt family on different brands or whatever. But he had a good thing going with Luke Harper. I think we was talking about that before we started recording. He had a good thing going with Luke Harper as a tag team. So, I mean, Lucas has nothing going on right now. So, I mean, I don't even know what the possibility of what the SmackDown tag team title is going to do at WrestleMania. So maybe they'll hook them back up somehow, and they'll be away from the Wyatt family or following the Buzzards. So maybe they have something new for them.
Right.
Other news. Rusev underwent surgery. His last match was against Big Show at Fastlane. He had something with his foot, so there's no timetable on how long he's going to be out. But it might be needed because Rusev, they really been dropping the ball dramatically with Rusev, so he needs a quick little reboot. So hopefully he comes back strong and come back WrestleMania 31 Rusev when he came in on the tank. You know what I'm saying? You know, not jobbing to part-timers and shit, you know. But anyway, and last, a little gossip. Caitlyn, you remember Caitlyn?
Mm-hmm.
Getting a divorce. And I know it's been rumors to say she's possibly going to come back, but she really didn't slam the rumors on Twitter. Just saying right now she's trying to process the divorce. And it's a messy divorce, too. She's married to some guy named PJ Braun. I guess they did the little weightlifting and bodybuilding and shred stuff together or whatever. But now he's trying to, after the divorce, he's trying to take their brand or whatever all with him or something. It's something messy, but it's real messy. But nevertheless, Big E, you know, that's Big E girl. You know, they like click tight. They got a video on Instagram. It's pretty funny, you know. So go ahead, Big E, get that. I'm rooting for you, homie. But yeah, I you know, she had a good little thing going when she was here. You know, I like for her to come back. You know, probably, especially with the body she has now. Like shit, I would love to see her every Tuesday or Monday, whenever.
Yeah. But
that's all the news and rumors I got this week. So let's get down with the rundown. J.Fields, what you got?
All right, SmackDown took place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The show kicked off with AJ Styles confronting Daniel Bryan, demanding to talk to Shane McMahon because, of course, Daniel Bryan couldn't make any real decisions. And basically, AJ was alluding to the fact that he couldn't do anything physical to Daniel Bryan with him being, you know, not cleared to compete. Then the show kicks off, and then AJ Styles comes to the ring and goes through basically how he's been screwed over. He goes through the time when he had the title match against John Cena and how Cena just walked in and got a title shot. He didn't have to earn it. He just said he wanted a shot, and it was granted to him, and how when he requested his one-on-one match, he never got it. He got put in the triple threat, and then he didn't even lose it, and then he never got his one-on-one. Then he got put in the Elimination Chamber, and then he got put in the Battle Royal. He got put in the Battle Royal, and then he ended up having to fight Luke Harper, and then he had to fight Randy Orton, and now here he is now with nothing to do for WrestleMania. He's the biggest star on the show, biggest star in the company, and he should have a match at WrestleMania. So he pretty much just goes off to kick the show off. Very strong promo from Styles there. He held his own. Following that, we got Becky Lynch defeating Natalya with the disarmor. Nothing really special about this match, but the post-match, we did see Carmella come down to the ring and super kick Natty and Becky Lynch just to kind of make her claim to the fact that she was going to join the women's title match, SmackDown women's title match at WrestleMania. So now we can add her in the fold as well. Following that, we got Miz TV, where Miz announced that the special guest for this particular episode would be The Miz and Maurice. Really nothing too special about this one either. They just kind of went through all the things that happened on Talking Smack with they showed the clips of Talking Smack and what they said on the show on SmackDown last week, and then Maurice went into a short story about how when she was trying to come back, how Nikki Bella said that, hey, I got you. I'm gonna make sure that the contract is right for you to return, and you'll be on the first season of Total Divas. And then Nikki just texted her and said, hey, yeah, we're back, and sorry, I hope you're not mad at me, but we're gonna go on and come back. And Maurice felt like she had been slighted, basically like Nikki had taken opportunities away from her, taking money out of her pocket, taking food off her table. And then enter John Cena and Nikki Bella. They come down to the ring together. Miz and Maurice, they retreat up the ramp. And then Nikki Bella proceeds to basically just kind of go in and say everything that Maurice said was a lie, which then enters Daniel Bryan, where he basically comes out and makes the match for WrestleMania, the mixed tag match between Nikki Bella and John Cena versus The Miz and Maurice. And we'll get to this a little bit later.
We will.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about it.
They also put that Maurice part. That was actually on the first episode of Talking Divas. Total Divas this season. So I actually knew about that story.
So it was true.
Well, yeah, it was actually incorporated in Total Divas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it actually really happened.
And I was actually sitting there wondering, like, did this really happen, or is this just something that they made up for the feud? Even
before Maurice fully came back, I heard that rumor before, because when Miz got married or whatever, I think somewhere in the tabloids they brought up, like what's going on and everything, and I think she kind of hinted to us like, she really don't feel this, feel comfortable talking about the Bellas right now, or something like that. So she kind of alluded to it, but yeah, I think it's true.
Okay. That makes it better.
Yeah,
that makes it better because I was a little concerned there, sitting there watching it live last night.
Mm-hmm.
Following that, we got Mickie James defeating our SmackDown Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Alexa, we still love you. She defeated her with a mid-kick clean. And following that, AJ Styles is waiting, throughout the night before Shane McMahon arrived. He kept showing AJ Styles backstage in the parking lot waiting for Shane to arrive. And Shane finally arrives, and AJ Styles sneaks him and proceeds to beat the hell out of him. He beats the hell out of him.
Yes.
Just roughed him up real bad, and to kind of close that, he rammed his head through a car window.
Shane could take an ass whooping.
Yeah, he took one. He took one. He saw the hell out of that. Yeah. He left Shane laying, and then Renee Young and Fit Finley and some other people ran in like, oh my God, he's bleeding. Then following that, they come back from commercial, and AJ Styles is thinking about it. You say he needs a napkin. Get him a roll of bounty.
And a sweet tea.
And a sweet tea. And a napkin. But they come back from commercial. AJ Styles has his coat on. He's leaving out the locker room, and like everybody's like, dude, you just beat up Shane McMahon. What the hell are you doing? Like, this is not gonna go well for you. And Daniel Bryan catches him in the hallway and says, I used to have all the respect in the world for you, but after what you just did, you're a coward, and I've lost all respect for you. And then he proceeds to fire AJ Styles, which the crowd boos. The crowd loudly boos this.
Same guy that choked a ring announcer with a tie.
Yeah, and same guy that fought against the authority.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, let's call the kettle black. Why don't you? Mojo Rawley defeated Dolph Ziggler by count out. He kept throwing Dolph Ziggler over the top rope, I guess, to insinuate how easy it would be to do it in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Dolph Ziggler just said, you know what? I don't need this. And he just walked out. He didn't try to even get back in the ring before the 10 count, which gave Mojo Rawley the win. Next up, Randy Orton came down to the ring and cut a promo, basically just alluding to the fact of why he did what he did to Bray Wyatt. If anybody had missed it in the last couple weeks, he just ran back through why he did what he did, how he got close to Bray, took everything away from Bray, had to figure out what it was that he loved, and he found out that he loved Sister Abigail, and that's what he chose to take away from him to put him at his weakest state. And then Bray Wyatt appears on the screen, and he basically says that Randy Orton's plan backfired, that what he thought he was doing was hurting Bray Wyatt, but really all he did was make him more stronger, more powerful, more godly, more untouchable, to the fact that now Sister Abigail's soul rests inside of him. Mm-hmm. And then he even baptizes himself in her ashes on screen, which was we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But that was their promo to just kind of further lead into WrestleMania. It looked like Randy was a little shook there.
Yeah.
When
a little freaked out.
when Bray did that. Next up, we got Baron Corbin backstage standing by a forklift to remind us last week of what he did to Dean Ambrose. He says that Dean Ambrose is supposed to be indestructible, and if he keeps coming back, he's just gonna take that much more from him. He's gonna take everything from, including the Intercontinental title, which just further pushes their feud for WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. And then in our main event, barely even promoted, we got the American Alpha, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, versus the Usos, in which we saw the Usos win with the super kick roll up to Jason Jordan. And then as the show came to a close, Shane McMahon stumbling around because he refused to go to the hospital. He comes out with a mic on the stage and says AJ Styles doesn't have an opponent for WrestleMania, but now he's got one, which lets us all know that Shane wants a piece of AJ Styles. And that, folks, was your SmackDown live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Alrighty.
Oh, GTS.
It's time for our Smack Up, Smack Downer, and Smack in the Face. Kicks off with your boy this week. So, my Smack Up this week is AJ Styles promo, aka or slash the ass beating he put on Shane. Great way to open up the show, because like I said, how the show ended last week and Talking Smack, they showed the segment of AJ in Shane's confrontation backstage, you actually want to see where it picked up from. And like, you know, the show came on and it immediately showed that, jumped right into it. AJ pretty much preaching the same sermon that we've been preaching all this year. He's supposed to be the heel, but it's coming out clear that he's a face in the situation because, yeah, I lost to John Cena. I wanted my rematch. You told me to wait. I fought at Elimination Chamber. I lost. You still said I'm going to get my one-on-one rematch. You throw me in a Battle Royal, which controversial. I lost. I won, whatever. I had to fight for the number one contendership the following week. I won that. Then you tell me I got to fight somebody else for another number one contendership again. Instead of just saying, hey, throw all y'all in the ring, triple threat. But you have him jumping through hoops. You beating people 1, 2, 3. You selling out arenas every time you come in the ring, and yet you're getting pushed to the side. But yeah, John Cena walks straight up in there and just sit there and say, hey, I want a title match. You got it, dude. You know, with the Michelle Town off of Full House. You got it, dude. I mean, like, it was just so easy. And like I said, it was so easy to feel what AJ was going with and coming from with that promo because, like I said, we've always been talking about this. Then, fast forward later on, still not interested in the match. But the ass whooping he put on Shane, that shit was stiff. Like, I mean, like, the camera work was working well with it, but like, I mean, throwing him to the damn garage door, throwing him into the truck, the little ice machine, then throwing his head through the window. I mean, like, that was an ass whooping, dude. Like, that's probably like the ass whooping of the year so far. I mean, I can't think of an ass whooping this year of 2017, but that was the ass whooping of the year. And Shane sold and took that ass whooping very, very well. So, but like I said, you know, it's just like, and then like I said, fast forward one more time, it's to the fact AJ got fired by Daniel Bryan saying like he had respect for him and all that type of stuff. But like I said, you did the same type of things when you was with Nexus and, you know, going against authority. You didn't hold back. I mean, like, that's what AJ is pretty much doing. Y'all booking him as a heel, but it's not working because his point is like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, they wrote themselves in the corner with this shit because, like, y'all do know what y'all telling him to say or what y'all letting him say is making him come across like, damn, man, you're right. They doing you wrong as a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And even Daniel Bryan even brought up on Talking Smack, which I strongly disagree with. He said majority portion of the fans don't like AJ. What? AJ Styles chants.
I don't believe it.
AJ Styles chants all through the night. Loud as hell. Loud as clear. Not controversial. Wasn't no boos in between. Probably a little small boo. That was a kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But like, who? But AJ owned the night for me on Smackdown. I mean, like I said, I'm not excited for the match, but it kind of spins my wheels slightly to actually want to engage and see what this is about. But like, we'll probably get into that more later after the review. So, anything you want to add to that?
AJ Styles was literally the MVP of the night. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I mean, most Tuesday nights he is though. Right. I mean, let's be honest about it. And I mean, the guy didn't even have a match. So I mean, that says a lot about how over you are, how talented you are in all facets of, you know, everything you do. You know, like you cut a damn good promo.
Yes.
Put you backstage. Mm-hmm. You sold it. If he had a match, it would have been, you know, awesome. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, AJ Styles is killing it. I mean, I'm just like you. I'm not just like, I can't wait for WrestleMania to see AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. Like you said, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I mean, as far as the role that AJ Styles has played, basically whatever they give to him, he knocks it out of the park. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was like, Randy Orton burned somebody's house down.
Right.
He's like, this dude burned somebody's house down and he get a title shot? You know what I'm saying? Like, he clearly said that he wasn't going to fight Bray.
Right.
Which led to this whole thing getting started with AJ having the opportunity to go to WrestleMania. They didn't try to force Orton to fight.
Yeah.
He backed out. So he should have stayed out. Right. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Bray and Orton. But, yeah. I mean, honestly, if you say you don't want the shot, somebody else got to take it. Because if you if he hadn't turned on Bray, then it would have only been right for AJ to go into the main event without all the extra hoops to jump.
And plus, clearly, like I said, the right thing to do in this situation, even though it ain't no, I mean, like you pointed out, like he backed out, but the right thing is say, hey, well, shit, both of y'all are gonna fight Bray.
Right.
And the story. I mean, I don't feel anybody in this entire world, or probably a couple few, wouldn't have had no problem with a triple threat match.
I know I would.
With those three. And when you think about it, fast forward to what we were talking about Raw, not Raw, but SmackDown, when AJ didn't have a match, you think about it, nobody in the main picture had a match last night. We didn't get no Miz, no Cena, or Randy, no Bray, no AJ. I mean, like, it was a lackluster SmackDown match-wise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
very bland.
It wasn't nothing that, like I said, I wanted to pick a match, but nothing really just pulled me in. But yeah, that was my smack up. Obviously, no hot tags, so J.Fields.
Yeah.
What was your smack up this week?
My smack up was the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt promo.
Mm-hmm.
That was the highlight for me because I was waiting to see. I was kind of the last time we saw Bray Wyatt because he wasn't on the show last week.
Right.
So the last memory that I had of Bray Wyatt was him like going crazy at ringside after Orton burnt the house down.
Mm-hmm.
So when they announced early in the night that Randy Orton was going to address Bray Wyatt, I'm sitting here hoping that, like, okay, is he just going to appear in the ring? Is he going to leave Orton land? What is going to happen here? Like, what is he going to do that's going to, just move their feud that much closer to WrestleMania? And Bray's back.
Right.
He's back. And it feels like he's going to be even more sadistic, even more crazy, even more evil than what he was beforehand, because now, like, he took this negative and flipped it into a positive for himself, which makes it even more negative for Orton. You know what I'm saying? He took, the ashes of Sister Abigail and, baptized himself in them. And, Bailey said that, like, now her soul lives through me. Now I'm even more powerful. Like, she's the child of Satan. You know what I'm saying? She's the spawn of Satan. And now I got that in me. So now you got even more to worry about. You probably should have left well enough alone.
What?
Orton, let's be honest. Orton, it wasn't like the greatest promo. It wasn't the greatest promo ever. But, as far as Orton, I will say that Orton has been able to stand in the ring and deliver a solid promo way more than I could ever remember.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't just knocking him out of the park, prior to, but, like, since he came to SmackDown, like, he's been able to really hold his own, on the mic and really carry a feud or move a feud along or whatever the case might be. So he did his part, which got us to Bray Wyatt appearing on the screen, and then Bray just took it from there. And like I said in the rundown, like, it really seemed like, okay, Orton, like, oh shit, what the fuck did I just do? You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, I might have messed up here. You know what I'm saying? Because here I was thinking that I was in control now, but I might be put a little bit more on this fire than I needed to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when they lock up, I think it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this is just small talk, I guess. But the rumor is that because of how the fans seem to be turning on Goldberg,
right,
that we could actually end WrestleMania with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, because they don't want the last thing to be Brock and Goldberg with the potential negative response from the fans. So if that's the case, if they go on last, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's what I personally want to happen.
Oh yeah,
I want that match to
be
the title. Yeah, I want it to be the last match. That's the Royal Rumble winner, main event of WrestleMania. The main event should be Orton and Bray. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it has been billed as. You get the main event spot. Main event means the last spot.
Mm-hmm.
The last match on the card. It's not 3 matches down or anything like that. And it's honestly the one big match on the card that I'm actually excited for.
Oh yeah.
I'm not excited for the other two.
No.
At all. Not at all.
None.
I have no interest in
the other two, which is
Roman Reigns and Undertaker, and then Goldberg and Brock.
Well, we can confirm that it will also be Austin Aries and Neville too. Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, but that's not a main event though.
Yeah, I feel
that's like the first match on the card. Yeah, 2-3 matches in. We know they're not gonna build that one as a main event, but that's the
main event wise. Yeah, you right.
That's potential show stealer, I believe. Yeah, and Joe still doesn't have a match either, so they got to figure that out too. Yeah. But that's the match that I'm most excited for. because of the bill, because of the fact that the first time that they fought, it's been a while, and we know for a fact that neither one of them tapped into how great they can be in the ring with each other.
Right.
They
kind of, and like I said, this is the only storyline leading to WrestleMania they actually slow build.
Yeah.
Like the only one. There's no other one.
Like September, October.
Yeah. Like if the only one you can think of is probably Seth and Triple H. That's the only one they kind of slow build. But everything else been like, it's back. We got 4 weeks left. Let's just make this person interfere. Like they've been throwing shit together.
Right.
But this Randy Orton, like it's been marinating in the crock pot for about 7 months.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's gonna benefit well, just like you said.
And it makes sense.
It makes sense. Like
it makes sense. It's not like somebody in creative said, okay, let's mix this together. Like, I mean, like I'm now I won't say I'm excited to see KO and Jericho. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah. But I'm not excited to see it because of the direction that they took the story. Like the bill was moving in the right direction. And then you throw in the whole Goldberg squash and all that stuff like that. And that just messed it all up for me. Yeah. So I mean, like, now I'm not as excited about what I could have been because of how the story unfolded.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but this one is one where like I'm all in.
And you wonder like where could it go? Like every time it keeps taking turns, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is the one that I really care about. This is gonna be very well put together. And like I said, this is gonna pay off, waiting to zone. Only thing I would take away from that promo, like you said, you already hit base on Randy Orton's promo skills, but it's like the thing I didn't like the most out of that, which is the reason was my smack up, is that he kind of went back over the things he said during the promo when he set the house on fire.
Right.
It wasn't needed. Like, if you had to loop back around and say the same thing about, once you join them, screw them, like you had to say that again in the same fashion, you know what I'm saying? Right. Then repeat that, like I played the part and I was just like, it's kind of like, okay, dude, we get it.
It's redundant.
We got it the first time. Like you kind of walking over your steps again. Like, we didn't need to hear it twice.
Right.
That's the only thing that took away. Like that was strongly going to be my smack up. But that's the only thing I took away from that. You know what I'm saying? That's I kind of said that. I think I said that last night. I was like, nah, I really didn't need him to say that twice. But like I said, Bray came in to save the whole situation. And like I said, I mean, just the baptizing thing and how Randy sold it. Like I said, he redeemed himself by selling the fact that, like, what the hell is going on with this dude? Like, he's rubbing ashes on his face, and like it was kind of creepy too. I was kind of a little uncomfortable watching it. Yeah. But like, it was served its purpose. You know what I'm saying? So like, big ups to this story. Like I said, I already kind of figured, like, with this negative reaction with the Goldberg shit, like nobody cares. And like I said, once again, we'll talk about this later because it's all tying together, people.
It's brewing. It's brewing.
Yeah, it's just bear with us. After this review, it's all gonna tie together. Trust me. All
right, so let's take the slight turn off the road because we're not quite at the smack in the face yet, but we are at the Smackdowner. So EJ, what was your Smackdown? What was the thing this week that brought you down?
The thing that brought me down this week are the matches. In particular, I mean, the matches, I guess, served some purpose because they was to build to WrestleMania. But the match in particular is that I think you brought it up during the review, is that our main event. I was okay with the main event, but it was the fact of the matter that we getting this match now, not for the title, just because. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna make this a hot tag then.
Yeah. Okay. We'll make this hot tag. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it. That's mainly the thing that brought me up. I'm like, okay. I love, like I said, how I love how SmackDown switches it up and has different ways to show closes out. Even though Shane was the focal point, but the last match was a tag match. And mind you that, this is the match that we wanted, but like just to have it with no stipulation, no title, just straight up just fighting for no reason, I understand they got a reason to fight, but like make it worth something. Make the build. Like it just kind of just sprung on us because I didn't know they was gonna have this match going to SmackDown, but like it didn't do anything for me. And like I think the main reason it really didn't do it for me because like they took the focal point off the match and focused that side by side camera with Shane, and it kind of took away the juice from Usos, because like I said, American Alpha don't have no juice right now to me. I mean, just be honest, they good, they can wrestle, but like they bland and boring as hell right now. Like, they ain't NXT American Alpha. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened, but, like, it didn't transition well. But, like, I mean, all in general, like I said, I thought I was going to get a payoff with the main event, and I didn't get the payoff I wanted. Like I said, it didn't hold me. That match was, it could have waited. They could have did next week because there was too much going on. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, especially if you're going to get something just light to Shane during that match, it just served no purpose to have that match going on because these are two teams. Like I said, mind you, that American Alpha are bland, but, like, they can go. They got good chemistry with the Usos, so this match should have been the focal point of the show at the end. Not Shane could have came out at the end of the show, but, like, I didn't need no side-by-side camera of him walking to the back and then change his mind, then want to walk out front. You know, so that's all about that. Hot tag?
Hot tag.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you get back in because there were some other matches that were god-awful.
Yeah.
But you basically said everything that I intended to say. This is my SmackDown. The main event was my SmackDown because, like, you talk about 2 weeks ago and even the week previous, 3 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks ago, you had the Usos cut these just damn good promos to American Alpha. American Alpha has not yet to respond. They haven't, said, bring it on or we'll put the titles on the line. Nothing of that sort is happening. We haven't gotten anything, no reports from Twitter, no reports from Instagram, no anything. So they just let it stay. They let it die. All that momentum, all that hype, all that excitement that could have been continued, they let it die for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you give us the match. And the thing about it is, like, I'm sitting there watching live last night, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, like, maybe an hour and 15 minutes into the show, or maybe an hour and 30 minutes into the show, they get ready to go to a commercial break, and they show American Alpha versus the Usos.
Yeah.
And it hits me right there. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Like, you don't even tell me that they're going to fight? Nobody's going to even announce that they're going to have a fight until the show's almost over. The show was nearly over before we found out what the main event was.
Right.
They could have told us that, at the top of the show. They could have told us that early in the show, maybe had a backstage segment somewhere in the middle, because the first time we saw the Usos, they were asking AJ Styles, like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly,
You just beat up Shane McMahon. So I'm thinking, okay, there they go. But that's the end of that.
Right.
And then later on, 45 minutes later, you tell me that they got a match with American Alpha in the main event, and you tell me right before they get ready to come out to the ring. Poorly booked.
Bad.
And we really don't jump too far down creative's throat on, what I'm saying, on SmackDown. But that was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad. And then to make matters worse, you got these two teams in the ring that can go, but JBL and Tom Phillips are literally more focused and more concerned about Shane McMahon than the match going on 2 feet in front of them.
Right.
And then you said the picture camera where they got Shane on one and they got the match going on. I mean, like, how can you get people to invest in the tag team division? Because, I mean, you got to be honest. Let's be honest about it. We already had to sit through 2-3 months of Rhino and Heath Slater.
God.
And they didn't push the division to the next level. We had to sit through that for 2-3 months. So it wasn't like the division started off with this, man, that's a tag team division right there. What? It didn't start off like that.
Right.
It didn't really get going until the Wyatts got involved.
Right.
And then you took the titles off of them almost immediately and gave them to American Alpha. And now I'm like, I don't know. Now American Alpha's barely getting any reaction, like we talked about before we kicked off the show today. Like, there were people literally, if you go back and watch that match, as they were doing their, like, coming to the ring and like posing to the crowd, like the different sides of the crowd, like people literally sitting on the TV side of the camera with their arms folded. Nobody's clapping, nobody's booing, nobody's doing anything. They're just sitting there, arms folded, not making any noise. That ain't the kind of reaction you want.
No.
You got to do something to get them boys, some reaction. I don't know if you need to put them with Kurt Angle. I don't know what you need to do.
They need a coach, yeah.
They need somebody that can go out and, generate some type of reaction, because now it's almost and it's almost a Bailey effect, but not quite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, people are starting to say, has, like, on the bring it to the table, they're talking about did Bayley win the title too fast, too soon, and she gonna eventually burn out. All her momentum and things gonna burn out.
Right.
This is what that could potentially be.
Exactly.
With American Alpha being the clean cut baby face, tag team, the good guys, and they're already on top.
Mm-hmm.
They should be in the position of chase. Let me chase the team to become, but they've ran through everybody.
Right.
And the only thing that could potentially save American Alpha is my personal favorite tag team, the Revival.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if the Usos don't get the titles, after WrestleMania, we get the Revival.
But like I said, also you have to think about, like I said, it's no title picture in SmackDown for WrestleMania right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Revival may show up at WrestleMania. Maybe they have some kind of, I don't know. Ain't no telling what they may do.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I would dig their match. You know what I'm saying? But like, back to your point, which we was talking about, like, the reactions they're not getting. Like, all the other matches was whack too. So I mean, I don't even got Mojo Rawley, Dolph, trash. Who else happened?
Mickey and Alexa.
Mickey and Alexa, that wasn't good. I mean, it was okay. It didn't do anything for me at all because I didn't even get to see all of it because I really wasn't paying attention. But like I say, just the fact that, like, if you really think about it, both tag team divisions are booked poorly, like in Raw and SmackDown. So it's like, right now, it's just kind of like, if anything, they need to work out some kind of trade get some better, swap the teams out. Because just like you brought up, like, American Alpha went through everybody. Like, I'm not excited to see any match. The only match I was excited to see is the Usos. Y'all gave us that with no stipulation, no title match. And like I said, and
then y'all put the focal point on somebody else while the match was going on.
And the Usos won on top of that. So why? I mean, like, what? Now they in the running for. I hate. The one thing I hate, and like I said, I know we kind of get off subject, is when they say once you beat somebody 1-on-1 with no title, now you can put his name in the hat for the title. Like, you beat him already. Like, why would I want to see you fight him again? You're supposed to be motivated regardless. Like, why now after you beat him, you get a title shot?
Right.
Like, that's what Bayley did with Charlotte. She beat Charlotte so many times on Raw. And then she said, I can beat you on the pay-per-view. And she beat it to pay-per-view.
Yeah. I
mean, she retained the pay-per-view, but I mean, like I said,
there has to be a better way to we don't get those matches, and this is probably know where I'm going with it. This doesn't happen anywhere else.
Right.
No other promotion does that, where like you beat a guy and then you got to come back and beat the guy again to get the belt. Nobody else does that.
So dumb.
Nobody else does that. Like, you beat somebody else to earn a shot, and whether you TV title contender in ROH or whatever, like, there may be a show somewhere untelevised or a live show somewhere untelevised where somebody gets a title shot against the world title, against the world champion.
Right.
Like, it doesn't always have to be at the pay-per-view.
Right.
And I think that's what makes WWE not as enjoyable these days, because we got to get to the next show, as opposed to let's let them wrestle and move people in as they prove themselves in these matches. Like, you got people getting title matches in other promotions, particularly ROH. You got people who have guaranteed number one contender matches for the world title. Dalton Castle, his title shot is months away.
Right.
Right before Adam Cole lost the belt, the weekend before, he fought Bobby Fish, beat Bobby Fish. The following weekend, he had to fight Christopher Daniels on the pay-per-view. Now, he lost at the pay-per-view to Christopher Daniels, but Dalton Castle still has a title shot. Still has title. At the same pay-per-view that Adam Cole lost, Jay Lethal beat Bobby Fish to become a number one contender for the world title. So somewhere down the line, we know that Jay Lethal's going to get a title shot. Somewhere down the line, Dalton Castle's going to get a title shot. Adam Cole's probably going to get his rematch against Christopher Daniels. We know that this is going to happen somewhere down the line.
Right.
And no matter who's the champion, it's something that we can look forward to.
Right.
Why come we can't get other things to happen based on the matches that you win or lose to determine who's going to get a shot? And it doesn't have to be the world title. It can be tag team title, the women's title. It can be the U.S. titles, the Intercontinental title, whatever, the Cruiserweight title, whatever title. It should be set up the same way.
And they used to do that. Like, I remember it was like, all of a sudden that theme song hit and somebody so-and-so come out like, I'm still granted a title match. Don't forget, you know, months ago, you know, I earned that number one contendership. You had your little program. They didn't say program this year, but you had your little thing going on with so-and-so. But now I'm here to reclaim the title or reclaim my title shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is what me and BK had a conversation, I think this past weekend, about Sami Zayn. Because I was like, because he keeps telling me that records don't matter. And I said, I know he probably didn't say that in that same state of matter or whatever, but like I said, man, I remember how many times Sami Zayn's losing. So if he's all of a sudden gets a title match, that's dumb to me because the fact that you've been losing, just like Dolph Ziggler, lost all the damn matches. But like I said, he got put in a situation where he overcame and got the title match. But at the same time, it's like he jumping over people who has been winning to get in that opportunity. So that's why I sit there and said about the Sami Zayn situation, like Sami constantly taking these L's, and it's frustrating to me because we know how great Sami is. So if all of a sudden, you know, everybody's saying, well, it'd be so beneficial once he gets that title match and he wins. But the fact of the matter is, you're building him down in our minds, even though you're going to just throw him in a title match all willy-nilly anyway, but like you're building him down by making him lose. So in the back of my mind, like I'm not even prepared to even think.
When he finally gets there.
Yeah, he gets there, he's going to win, or you would think that he's going to get that opportunity.
Because you got to remember, I mean, you can't take the Daniel Bryan route with everybody.
Man, what?
I mean, Daniel Bryan, he wasn't technically on just a losing streak. He was like getting screwed.
Right.
Sami Zayn is losing clean to Kevin Owens every other week. Every other week, Kevin Owens is beating him. Jericho beat him when he was Joe beat him. Braun Strowman beat him. Reigns beat him. He was losing regularly. Even when Seth was a heel, he was losing to Seth. He couldn't beat anybody. He beat Rusev in a surprise one time. Nobody saw that happen. He beat Rusev. And then when he was in NXT, before he won the title, lose. And then he got the title, and a month later, it was off of.
Yeah.
And Sami ain't been the same since. You know, and I mean, you miss your opportunity with people.
Yeah, exactly.
You miss your opportunity. I mean, the thing about it is, like, yeah, we'll be happy when he finally gets the title, or when he's finally in the world title or universal title program. Yeah, we'll be happy about it. Same as we were with Bray. I mean, like now it's not. We don't even really think much about the fact that how Bray was losing.
Right.
But it's the simple fact that all this wait time.
Yeah.
Give them something to do that keeps them strong in the meantime. So when they finally do get the opportunity or get the shot or whatever, that is not like, man, this dude ain't got a snowball's chance in hell.
Right.
Because that's essentially what it is every time Dolph Ziggler gets an opportunity. Yeah. He ain't got a snowball's chance. Nobody believes that he's going to actually win.
Not at all. And he had two opportunities to win that title.
Yeah.
With two different people. And both times I was like, nah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So because like I said, we talked about this last week or the week before, like his days of actually being the guy for the show or brand, that's over with.
It's over.
I couldn't see SmackDown kicking off with him holding the belt, leading or closing a promo or ending the show. Like that's done.
He would have to completely flip.
And actually, you look at it like Miz benefited the most out that feud because he's escalated. He's moving on. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that Dolph is not moving on, but Miz is in a situation where if he was to get a title shot for the title, WWE title, it would make sense. Like, yeah, you've been putting in that work, dude.
And you think about it. Orton and Miz hadn't had that in a while. Miz and Bray never had that.
Interesting. Very
never had that. And two people that can talk.
Yeah. And
then you got Maurice involved too. I mean, you never know how that can go. I mean, that makes me wonder. It gets me excited about where it could potentially go. I can't really get behind it. Right. I can't really get behind it as it currently stands. I mean, now they did a good job with the women's title. Basically what we're saying should happen last night they did with the women's title.
Yeah.
They had two women's matches. Mickie James beat Alexa clean. Kind of showing her veteran prowess over the young gun Alexa Bliss. And then you had Becky Lynch beat Natalya. And then
that did happen, yeah.
And then to add that in, it wasn't neither one of them were like just amazing matches.
Yeah.
But then you had Carmella throw her name in the hat with the super kick. Now, granted, they're gonna give us all of that at one time. But if they would have stretched that out, if WrestleMania wasn't so close and they would have stretched that out a couple months and say, well, hey, I beat Becky Lynch, or I beat Natalya this night. Or Carmella say, well, I left both of y'all laying. And then Mickey James say, well, I beat the champ. You know what I'm saying? Then in that case, you got everybody involved without it having to be a 5-way match or a 6-way match.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to amount to that. Sometimes one person get the shot, somebody else is sitting at ringside, and they're like, okay, I'm next up. Or they get involved in some type of way, and then we move from that. They don't do that. They haven't done that.
So
that's what's missing.
And like I said, they booked themselves in the corner with every situation. But like I said, we both can agree highly that main event wasn't well spotted out in the show. Like, I would have dealt with that better mid-show. You know, like it could have ended the show with something else.
Yeah, they should have found something else. Because, I mean, just to throw them out there, I mean, it would have been, like, I don't know what they could have done, but anything would have been better than that.
Yeah.
Anything would have been better because I feel like you missed an opportunity. So now next week, Usos got to come back and try to reclaim some of that momentum they had.
Right.
American Alpha got to try to reclaim. They're starting from square one.
Again, yeah.
Again. Gave us 2 weeks straight of damn good promos, build. They had a little Twitter interaction going. Like, they had some things they could have took and built from.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's starting from scratch, and the only thing they got to really kind of hold their head to was the fact that, okay, we beat y'all.
Right.
They made American Alpha look human because nobody had really beat them.
Yeah.
You know.
And like I said, straight up, wasn't no cheating going on.
No
They're just a better person.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. That was our long, drawn off the road, but back on the road, Smackdown. So it's time to take that dirty turn.
Yeah. With that said, though, EJ, what's your smack in the face?
Oh my God. My smack in the face this week is John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Hot tag.
Hot tag again, but oh man, like I dug what Miz and Maurice were saying, but which also plays in the factor, which I'm like I said, it's kind of off subject, but Daniel Bryan is doing everything the Miz says he is. You're catering to the ones you fuck with, a la John Cena and Nikki. And the fact that, you know, you're giving them these opportunities, just like the match. He made, I mean, like, I'm lost for words. It's just the fact that, like, you made this match. And, like, I mean, because the scary thing I thought was going to happen, it was going to say Maurice was going to have to fight Nikki one-on-one tonight, some shit. Because this was real early in the show. But the fact that, like, after they made the match and the celebration, immediately was my smack in the face. How she just jumped up to him and she said, rewatch it, kiss me. She said, kiss me during the hug. Told John Cena, kiss me.
I didn't see that.
Rewatch it. I'm not making this up. She hugged him, jumped, threw her legs around him, spun around the ring, all celebration like they just won the Super Bowl, and said, kiss me.
Because they got a match.
Yeah. High five and like four. I mean, it's so forced. It's so forced. It's like when your mom tries to be cool. Like she says words like lit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the bomb.
Like that macaroni was lit.
Yeah. God. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, they're acting like this is the match we've been dreaming for. But yet, we'll get to that more later about dream matches and all this type of shit. But like, I'm only interested I have in this whole situation to Miz and Maurice. And I know they've been on a roll lately. Mm-hmm. And I know they're going to have to come down. But like, I just don't like the fact that they had so long. I mean, I understand that maybe they didn't have an official plan what they was going to do with John Cena at WrestleMania this year. But they had so long to make this say, okay, y'all need to get this shit together. Y'all need to get camera ready. Don't look like, I mean, it looks so forced. It looked like they went out there and have no plan. Like, okay, we're going to celebrate. But like, it looks so fake. They literally, I mean, the whole time I'm hearing Drake's Fake Love in the background, the whole time I'm watching this shit. Because this shit looks fake as hell. And they're, like I said, they're proving everything the Miz and Maurice say every week on the show and on Talking Smack. Like, it's not organic. This is real love. I got a ring. This is what love looks like. You see us on social media. you see us at award shows, like we love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And what I see in the ring is like publicity.
Yeah.
It's for his brand.
To sell that show on the E Network.
Hot tag, man. I'm done.
So the whole segment to me fell flat.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, I'm going to be honest, you know, I don't normally have anything negative to say about The Miz and Maurice because they carry the show.
Right.
But in this particular segment, it didn't do anything for me. It felt flat because basically Miz and Maurice just showed clips of stuff that they had already said. And then from there, Maurice did most of the talking, which she held her own. She did what she needed to do.
Yeah.
And then Nikki Bella comes out and tries to nail a promo and
Talk so slow.
it just doesn't work. And the crazy part about it is that even though I'm not a fan of him right now, Daniel Bryan saved the whole segment. The promo that he cut, which is bad when your, general manager comes out and saves a promo between John Cena, Nikki Bella, Maurice, and Miz. It's bad when the best part of it is Daniel Bryan. But just to kind of recap what he said, Daniel Bryan came out and he was like, the fact that you promised me something special on Miz TV and then deliver, it makes me want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
And then he said that you showed the clip of talking smack and it reminds me of every time you cut me off and rub it in my face that I can't wrestle anymore. And that makes me really want to punch you in the face. And he just keeps going on, basically saying like he really wants to punch the Miz in the face. Mm-hmm. Like that part of the promo or the segment or whatever was actually pretty okay. I was okay with it because we knew where it was leading at that point. But I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, like, I probably would have enjoyed it more if, like, Miz and John Cena or, Nikki Bella and Maurice would have got into, like, a physical altercation. Yeah. And maybe they're trying to save it for WrestleMania, whatever the case might be. But
going home show.
The Miz TV, this Miz TV wasn't as good as the one that they did the other week. And it was damn sure not even close to the Talking Smack segment. If you got a chance to check that out, it wasn't even as good as the Talking Smack segment. So, I mean, it just felt like we just got it. Let's get through this so we can do something different next week.
Right.
Instead of like, okay, let's knock this one out of the park like we've been knocking everything else out of the park. It's like, I'm not going for a home run. I'm just trying to get on base. That's what it felt like last night. So that was my smack in the face. I didn't enjoy it. Like when I was like, okay, Miz TV, okay, who's going to be his guest? And then he's like, well, it's me and Maurice.
I thought it was already determined that it was going to be like they was going to have this match at WrestleMania. I did not know that it wasn't booked already. For some reason.
Me too. I thought it was already.
So when he made the announcement, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm thinking he's going to say, Maurice, you're going to face Nikki Bella tonight or next week. He said they're going to have a John Cena, Nikki Bella versus Maurice and Miz. I'm like, I thought this was already booked. Right. And I also thought, like I said, I thought that was already booked that John Cena was going to be his guest on Talking Smack. I mean, not Talking Smack, but on Miz TV. Right. I could have sworn they promoted that last week.
I mean, they need to do something. I mean, like, give me Miz versus John Cena. 1-on-1. Put the girls in the corner. Give me Maurice versus Nikki Bella. Put the guys in the corner on commentary. I mean, like, or put them in a match with somebody else and then let them serve on commentary. Do something to where I can get more invested than just what Miz and Maurice are doing. Because, I mean, they're doing their part to carry the feud.
Yeah.
And keeping my interest. But last night, it didn't go well on any account.
I honestly feel like John Cena is really not motivated to do this match.
Why? Because he don't want to get married?
Not only that, it's just like, I mean, like I said, I understand it. They have a relationship at work, professional-wise, but, like, their chemistry is so off. Yeah. I can't buy into it at all. I'm not saying I'm going to buy into the match anyway, but, like, I can't fully invest or even throw a percentage of my interest in that match because I don't believe it.
Right.
Like I said, I believe Miz and Maurice. They've had, like, Jimmy Uso, and Naomi versus Miz and Maurice. I'll believe that shit because I see it. I see the chemistry of them.
Right.
John Cena and Nikki Bella is so fake to me. Like every time I look at it, it seems like something out the Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
And I mean, let's be honest about it. I mean, like, it's not like WWE doesn't have material already there. Mm-hmm. You got Dolph Ziggler, who was Nikki Bella's ex. You got Mickie James, who's John Cena's ex. Like, it might be touchy. It might be controversial.
Do it.
But it's damn good for ratings.
Yep.
Let's figure out how to get that mixed in there. To where, like, now you're like, oh, snap. Because everybody that's watching WWE may not know that they dated back in the day.
Right.
Everybody may not watch Total Divas and know the backstory between Dolph and Nikki and all that stuff like that. That'll give Dolph something else to do, too. Instead of, getting thrown over the top rope 50 times and then walking out on the match. It gives him something more to do. I mean, like, at some point, it's supposed to be business anyway. And I mean, like, let's be honest. Some of the best TV is when they incorporate real life.
Real life, yeah.
Case in point, Edge, Matt Hardy, and Lita.
That shit was juicy every time.
Oh my God.
I bought the DVD especially for that.
Was that not like
that was very
crazy?
Like they used to have. We're showing our age like a motherfucker. Memphis used to have this hotline. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The wrestling hotline. Yeah. You could call to find out the new. This before Gurrick and PW audit wrestling rumors and shit. You used to call and they give you all the news and gossip of wrestling. Memphis used to have it, and like I call that shit daily.
Yeah. Trying
to get the plug on what's going on between Lita and Matt Hardy. Like, oh my God, did she really find a text message? I mean, did Matt really find a text message or a picture and Lita phone of Edge and shit? I'm like, that shit was juicy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just like you pointed out, like, bringing reality that way into TV.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's the ratings. That's like watching a soap opera and like, oh my God, I can't wait till next week actually see what did he catch her cheating or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I actually applaud Matt Hardy for keeping a straight head, actually going forward with that storyline. Cause I couldn't do it.
I don't think I could.
I got a fake fight to do this fucking my ex-girlfriend. Hell no.
Yeah.
Fake fight? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of real fists in that altercation. The Edge I already knew, like, hey, I already know what comes with this, but like Lita got some big ass titties, so fuck, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah,
look what he did for both of their careers, though.
Yes.
You think about it. Like, it put Edge on a whole nother level. Edge went from that feud to WWE champion.
Rated R superstar.
10 times?
Yeah. 10
times world heavyweight WWE champion. Split between the two titles. Matt Hardy went on to be a singles guy and do his thing. And now he's the most over thing in professional wrestling right now.
He was the hottest free agent for a month.
Yeah. Let's be honest about it. These are the things that you look back on and say, you know what, that was the moment right there when it all kind of changed. Because somebody took that shot. You think about what something like that could do for Dolph Ziggler. Right. Or you think about what they could do for, Mickie James already had her career. But you think about what they could do for like an upcoming talent that's got this backstage issue or this backstage thing. Like, people already hate John Cena as it is.
Yeah.
You make him look like the bad guy in his relationship with this woman, you got a whole nother layer to who John Cena is.
Yeah.
Why not have Miz interview Mickie James? Why not have Miz interview Dolph Ziggler on Miz TV? Book it. That's how you do it. To further prove how plastic their relationship is.
Yeah.
Go and get some former main squeezes.
And Mickie James broke up with John Cena because she didn't want to sign no goddamn contract.
Exactly.
Boom. God damn it, boy. This is a handshake right here. Y'all can't see it, but
Miz point. There it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It writes itself, people. It writes itself.
God damn, that J.Fields is.
I'm telling you.
That was beautiful. I bought that. Like I care about John Cena being on TV during this situation. So right. It's like, it worked.
Yeah.
I don't care about John Cena at all, but it made me care. Like, damn, I wonder what John got to say about this.
Yeah, like how does he respond to that?
Right. Nah, we're gonna end it right there.
Yeah.
That'll end it with our review. So let's get into these near falls.
All right. What you got? Do you have one particularly?
A potential smack up. I think we both can agree on this. Another hot tag.
Hot tag.
No Otunga this
No
week.
Otunga.
That shit was great.
Whatever movie he's in, not watching it, but I'm glad he out filming it. I'm glad he's filming it right now. And a matter of fact, delete all the scenes that he's done so far, so he can do them again next week.
Man, what? I hope they lose the footage.
Lose the footage. Please lose the footage.
Because you know that movie going straight to a floppy disk. It ain't going straight to DVD.
Flash drive near you.
Download.
Man.
I was so great. I mean, I was so grateful. Like I was like, oh, it's two people. One more.
That whatever
I
movie.
thought about it. I was like, oh, no Otunga.
Yeah. Whatever movie. It's Academy Award worthy. Just for the fact.
Whoever the director who casted him, give that guy an award.
Right.
He helped us out.
Yeah.
So
Smackdown was so much more enjoyable. Tom Phillips is good anyway.
Yeah.
But it was so much more enjoyable.
And when you think about it too, like JBL he's not really annoying every week, but like he actually made more sense during it, which is two of them. Like I said, I don't understand why they still stick to this 4 people team anyway. I mean,
hopefully this is his way off of the commentary.
I hope Braden shoot to the moon and people go on the website like, I really enjoyed the commentary this week. Like we should like just.
I'm thinking about doing it.
I might just
gave me the idea.
1 million usernames. Just like I really enjoyed this. Like
no Otunga. Let's keep it that way.
No Otunga.
Just keep shooting movies.
Delete Otunga.
Delete Otunga.
But
hashtag.
Any other potential smack ups or smackdowners or smack in the faces?
Baron Corbin cut a really good promo. I liked it.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, Corbin is Corbin is, he has this. He doesn't talk like everybody else, and some people like, I don't really like the way he delivers his promo, but I like it. I like it because it's different.
Not all the time. Like, yeah, I like the way it's how different it is, but like sometimes I feel like he puts too much space in between some of his words. Like, how his head moves and everything. But like, his message is clear. I get his message. And like
You're not stumbling and fumbling.
Right. I like how he just inserted stuff like, hey, I'm taking a title wrestler, man.
Right.
So I take that back. That's another match I'm invested in. Not fully. Of course, it's not main event, but I'm actually interested to see their chemistry in the ring together, like a one-on-one match between those two.
Right.
They're both kind of like brawlers type, but the possibilities are endless around how he's gonna hit the end of the day. So
right.
I'm looking forward to that. But anything else?
That was all that I had.
All right. As the words of Sterl, let's talk some wrestling.
Yeah.
This situation with WrestleMania. There comes a time when I used to watch WrestleMania. Each storyline I was invested in. Each match I wanted to see. But now we're getting to this point where they're giving us matches they call, quote unquote, dream matches. Quote unquote, a battle of the century. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Why should I care? You did this at WrestleMania 20, and it was awful. They haven't had a match since. You can't count that Spirit, Jackhammer, and win for title. Also, you have this mixed tag team match with John Cena versus Nikki Bella versus The Miz. Why should I care? Also, you have Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. Why should I care? It would have been a bigger deal if Undertaker still undefeated. And Reigns could have got that heat if he would have took the streak. But my question to you is, with the direction of both brands, the way they're going, I left out the most important match of all. Shane versus AJ. And this is what brought up my point. And we bring this up all the time. How does Shane McMahon get 2 WrestleMania matches in a row when you have talent backstage struggling to get on the card? And remember, at the beginning of the draft, he said we're going to make this about the superstars, not about the managers. But you inserted yourself into a match. I understand the rivalry and the build-up for it, but like, why do they put these part-timers in the situations? Like I said, this is pretty much a repeated situation, but why do they put these part-timers in a situation where talent they're getting wasted sitting in the background has to be tossed in a battle royal or something like that. I mean, give me your input on WrestleMania's build so far. That's basically why I guess I'm guessing.
The biggest problem with WWE is the fact that nothing is wide open with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is always built around the big four pay-per-views. And there's not enough space in between the big four to really establish anybody else. There's no space between Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam to really establish the next guy.
Right.
Or the next team, or the next Intercontinental champion, or the next U.S. champion. There's really no space to develop that. That's where it's become all about these big matches, these dream matches, this once in a lifetime, the icon versus the icon. That's where that comes from, because now they think that that's all that the general fan wants.
Right.
When we've been invested all year, we've watched No Mercy, we've watched Backlash, we've watched Battleground, we've watched every pay-per-view all year long.
Mm-hmm.
We've been invested all year long, and then you'll divert from the fan that's there with you all year long to try to give us something that you think we want.
And try to pull in other people.
For the big four.
Right.
And that's the problem. Because people think that we want Goldberg versus Lesnar for the title. People thought that we wanted The Rock versus John Cena's 2 WrestleMania in a row. People thought that we wanted Shane versus Undertaker. And we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't. People thought that we wanted Vince versus Shawn Michaels those years ago at WrestleMania. We didn't.
But when you think about it, and like I said, not to cut you off, but like even when we had the Vince Shawn Michaels, it was acceptable to the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying, when it happened, like, I didn't really bat an eye at it. Like, why are we getting this match? You got Shawn Michaels wasting his talent. Like at the point, what WrestleMania was that? That was like
that I don't know.
I think it was like 20 or 21.
It was somewhere in the 20s.
I mean, but it was other programs reasoning why they had that match placement. It wasn't like.
Do you not see the similarity?
It's very similar.
In Vince versus Shawn, and then Shane versus AJ. Do you not see the
parallel
there? Because I mean, like, you got Shawn Michaels and Mr. WrestleMania
facing
Vince McMahon, who tore his quads getting in the ring.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Vince McMahon.
Batista,
I mean that's
the same thing about with the Shane thing. Like, I mean, Corey Graves said it perfectly. This match does nothing for me. You have your best superstar going against somebody that can't even keep up with him.
Yeah.
Mind you, Shane, like I said, just everything Corey Graves said, he does the big bumps at WrestleMania. He falls off the cell. He jumps off the Titantron and do all this other type of shit. Go through a damn screen by Kurt Angle. I mean, glass, whatever. But, like, why should I think? I just hate the fact that AJ has to sell. Acts like, you know, Shane is on his level when he's not, clearly not.
I'm not even so much bothered by that than by the fact that I would be okay with the match if it was anywhere other than WrestleMania.
I agree. Yeah.
That's the problem, is the fact that these big pay-per-views, they're thinking about SummerSlam. As soon as WrestleMania is over, they're already going to be looking at what are we going to do for SummerSlam. And then as soon as SummerSlam is over, they're going to be thinking, okay, what are we going to do for Survivor Series? And then 2 months later, after Survivor Series, okay, how are we going to book the Rumble? And then how are we going to book WrestleMania? Everything is always built around that. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, no other company has you got certain companies that have, like, the big show. But what they're doing from show to show is not geared towards what we have to do with this big show. RH just had their 15-year anniversary pay-per-view. Christopher Daniels won the world title. Mm-hmm. That's big if you're an RH fan. But if you're somebody that just casually watches, that's not a big deal.
Right.
That's not a big deal because you probably more a Jay Lethal fan. You're probably more Adam Cole fan. You're probably more somebody else other than Christopher Daniels. But the way it was built made it important. Like that whole bill for him to win the title. If you were watching consecutively for the months that it was going on, him getting to the world title, that was the bill. They have their big pay-per-view at the end of the year, Final Battle. That's their WrestleMania, essentially.
Right.
But you got another 11 months of just damn good pay-per-views, damn good matches, damn good, interaction, and you got multiple storylines going on with wrestlers at one time. You don't just have this one, you don't have just this singular story going on.
Right.
Like I mentioned Dalton Castle earlier to just kind of tie it all together. I mentioned Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle has an issue with Colt Cabana for attacking his boys that come to the ring with him. Mm-hmm. Dalton Castle's trying to win the 6-man tag team championships, where the 3-man team. He's trying to win with the boys. He's trying to win the 6-man tag team titles with his 2 boys to come out to the ring with him. He's also, like I said earlier, he's also got a title shot in his back pocket.
Right.
This one wrestler is in 3 storylines at one time.
Right.
That's how you need to book, where you got multiple things going on. Why can't Cesaro be in a tag team with Sheamus and still going for the Universal title?
Mm-hmm.
Why come AJ couldn't be in WrestleMania while Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton still had their issue going down with the whole house burning and the ashes burning? Why couldn't they had a triple threat match with that going on simultaneously? And then this thing with him and Shane could have still been brewing for another pay-per-view somewhere.
Even if he would have lost, just like you said, even if he would have lost at WrestleMania, still say, man, it should have been a one-on-one match. It could have made AJ play the heel. Yeah. Say it should have been a one-on-one match. Then get up in Shane's face and beat his ass.
Exactly.
Do it after. And like I said, the main thing is the structure. Like, just like this NCAA March Madness coming up, the bracket. They got teams stretched so far away from each other. Let that slowly build, and when it gets to the Final Four, it makes sense that they've been on different paths the whole time, but the path was to get to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, you throwing this match in and having these careless matches that I don't care about.
3 weeks before, you just now announced matches.
And AJ should have been booked months ago.
Right.
And which we brought up at Royal Rumble. I feel whoever's champion at Royal Rumble should be champion at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Even if, like I said, even though I didn't want it, even if it was John Cena. Ain't no reason John Cena should have been put in a situation, or AJ put in a situation, to lose the belt before the big show. That's the payoff.
Yeah.
You survived this long. You have a 2-month layoff of not having to defend the title. You can wrestle. You can do all these other type of things, but like, you booked for WrestleMania. You shouldn't have to book it, like you said, 3 weeks later. 3 weeks ahead of time. I mean, like, and that's why I said the structure. I want to enjoy, like, the last WrestleMania I enjoyed thoroughly was WrestleMania 31. And that was when Seth won the title. Mm-hmm. That's when Daniel Bryan won the IC title. Undertaker versus Bray was pretty entertaining. It wasn't the best, but it was good. And, I mean, it was Triple H versus Sting. It was very interesting because they brought an NWO. I mean, like, that's the last time I enjoyed a WrestleMania. And the past 2, you have 32, and I'm talking about 33 as well. It doesn't look so high. I understand injuries played a factor, but you booked yourself in a situation where you're just scrapping for matches, and anybody who doesn't have a match getting tossed in the damn Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Right.
I mean, like, why is Titus O'Neil getting TV time if he's not going to be taken seriously? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's wasted opportunity. Get these people off TV. Get Kurt Hawkins off TV.
Just to put him in a battle royal?
Yeah, I mean, like, he got all these tag teams. I mean, like, give these people a situation where, okay, like, if they're not involved, fuck Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I mean, like, that's actually taking up space of what you could have built for a program between anybody. Like, Dolph Ziggler's, I mean, like I said, we're not the biggest Dolph Ziggler supporters, but, like,
we used to be.
I mean, but, like, he is, honestly, this is me saying now, you can agree, he's too good to be in the fucking Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I agree.
Just like 3 years ago, Cesaro's too good to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Right.
I mean, like, that's the thing I'm more frustrated about. You put in situations where wasted talent. People just, hey, go iron check. And like I said, you're taking away from people putting in hard work year after year to get that moment, and you say, hey, not this year.
And then you also got to remember, let's be honest about it. You got people who've never gotten a world title shot one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Cesaro never had a world title shot. Never.
Not that I recall. Man.
Never got a world title shot. Sheamus only got it because he was Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Rusev never got a world title shot.
Not at all.
Never got one. Sami Zayn never had a world title shot. Like, you got people that could be getting shots at the title that are not, because they're thinking, we got to save this for this over here.
Right.
And we got to get to the month of January. We got to get to the month of April. We got to get to July for SummerSlam. Or we got to get to August for SummerSlam. And then we got to get to November for Survivor Series. Like, if you look at the roster top to bottom of ROH or anywhere else, like, and I keep going back to this, like Dalton Castle, you wouldn't consider him to be a world title contender.
Right.
But he won a tournament. He won a match that says he gets a shot. So whether you think he's worthy or not, he's going to get a shot. He's going to eventually be in the ring with the world champion. He's going to eventually be in a tag team match with some other guys going against the world champion. He's going to have his opportunity to hold his own. Why not put that same opportunity for your guys in WWE?
Right.
Why not get that same opportunity? Why does it always have to be Roman? Why does it always have to be Brock? Why does it always have to be Dean? Everybody should be trying to be the champion at some point or another. Otherwise, you're just there spinning your wheel. Like, at this point, you got Sheamus, you got Cesaro, you got this just particularly just talking about Raw in general. Like, they're stuck in a tag team match at, you know what I'm saying, at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Then on our side, you got Luke Harper. He has nothing to do for WrestleMania. Dolph Ziggler, Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You got people that could be being built all year long for a top shot somewhere down the line. I mean, let's be honest about it. It's not like these pay-per-views are $50 anymore.
Right.
These pay-per-views are $10. So to me, and this is just me looking at how the business runs now, it should be a lot easier to take chances now than it's ever been.
Right.
Of course you need Rock. Of course you need Austin back in the 90s and the 2000s, because you had WCW putting on a pay-per-view within the same month as WWE. You was trying to get both of them pay-per-views cost $34. Both of them pay-per-views cost $49.99. You got to get them buys.
Yeah.
You want to get 100,000 buys.
It's not a struggle now.
It's not a struggle now. You set up on the WWE network now to where it's $9.99. And you got people sharing passwords. Everybody not paying for the network.
Nope.
Some people get it and get rid of it. You got over 100 million. You got over 1,000 subscribers. So why not take a chance with your talent and say, you know what? Now we can we're not so much take our foot off the gas, but let's put the title on Sami Zayn.
Let's just try some shit out.
Let's see how it works. Right. Let's move Cesaro to the world title picture. Let's see how it works.
Yeah.
They seem a lot more willing to take chances back in the day with Jericho.
I mean, they took
Angle,
and
those guys.
Even we alluded to about 6 or 7 years ago when they gave the Brian Kendrick a title.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it was for a split second, but they took that chance.
JBL, Eddie Guerrero. Rey Mysterio. You got people that have world title reigns that you probably wouldn't have never expected to get them.
Right.
They took more chances with the talent back then than they do now, and they got better talent.
And just like I said, you pointed out, take a chance, and you got too much. Nobody gets that exposure in Andre the Giant Battle Royal at all.
Exactly.
So it's like all that talent. You got a lot of talent in the ring. You could say probably out of all the people, it's going to be like a 50-50 of people who way over time to be in this match and people who deserve to be in that match. Right. At the same time, that match doesn't deserve to be at WrestleMania because it doesn't do nothing for whoever wins because it haven't benefited anybody but Baron Corbin.
I'm going to be honest with you. Christian is a 2-time world heavyweight champion. Mark Henry is a world heavyweight champion. That in itself, Jack Swagger is a former world heavyweight champion. And he had a main event at WrestleMania for the world heavyweight title against Del Rio.
Damn.
You mean to tell me you got 2 world titles now, essentially. You mean to tell me you can't find space for Cesaro or Sammy or and then the thing is, like, when you finally move up, when the guys that's in NXT finally move up, what are you gonna do with them? You got Joe, You got Seth. You got Owens. You got Sammy. Eventually, you're going to have Nakamura. Eventually, you're going to have Rude. Eventually, you're going to have Ono.
You can't do this shit with them.
You're going to have all these guys. You have essentially an attitude era already available to you.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is book it. Just book it.
Right.
You got enough talent. You got guys that can carry a promo. Bobby Roode carry a promo.
I mean, even if there was like
everybody,
and just like you pointed out, like with all these people, with the exception of moving up onto the main roster, you have these other guys that can still put on a great match. I mean, like I said, make main event watchable, make WWE superstars watchable, make people want to watch this shit because nobody's going to the network and say, "Shit, let me catch up on main event, let me catch up on superstars." Nobody. Make that must-see. I mean, help yourself. Like, make people want to watch it. Every now and then, throw a match. Not saying it's gonna benefit, ratings wise, but like throw a match AJ Styles on main event. If he's not gonna be on the Smackdown program this year, make people want to watch that match. Right. Make it work. Get everybody.
And that's how main event was when it was on TV.
I remember
they had main event. They had Intercontinental title.
I remember the first WWE Superstars.
WWE title main event.
Yeah.
Like because essentially it was built from Saturday Night main event.
Yeah.
Which you would have title changes. You have big stars, Hogan, Macho, Andre. You have those big stars on the Saturday night show for the idea of ratings. So when they brought it back, it just became a dark show. Yeah. Essentially, it just became a show of dark matches. Like a show that you just throw on before. Rather than you putting your big talent in some good matches on there and say, oh yeah, on main event, Cesaro defeated Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
1-on-1. It's a surprise. Like, he doesn't always have to be on the main show doing the same thing every week. Mm-hmm. Since you got all this content, make it desirable to watch. You got a UK championship that hadn't even been defended since ever. You got a UK championship that has never been defended. They crowned that champion 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's only had one match on the brand, well, 2 matches on the brand since. He had 2 matches on NXT since he won the title. We do stuff. Well, not we. They do stuff, and then they just leave it.
Right.
Now, if there is a plan to have a UK show or whatever the case might be, that's cool. But the meantime, what are you doing in the meantime?
Work with what you got first. Stop grabbing out every time this free agent and bring them here to let them do nothing.
Exactly.
Basically, I'm saying, but
you got too much talent. You got the cruiserweights. You think about the talent that's a part of WWE, the whole umbrella.
Yeah.
You got the 2 main rosters, and you just think about the names. Finn, Seth, AJ, KO, Cesaro, Orton, Bray, Miz. You got all these guys right there. Then you look at NXT, Rude, Young, Ono, Nakamura. Tommy End.
Hideo Itami coming back.
Hideo just came back. You got all those guys. You look at the cruiserweights. Kendrick, Neville, Aries, Alexander, Swan. Then you look at the UK. Bate, Dunn, and Seven. Andrews. Those are really the main ones from the UK.
They actually signed, yeah.
That you got actually signed. How you gonna be able to book all those guys? How you gonna book all of them?
And just like I said, SmackDown does it. Everybody doesn't have to be involved every night, and they can alternate that.
Yeah.
Well, but like just like you pointed out, still like how are you gonna do that if you're not working on what you got right now?
And then think about the people that you got that you just misused.
Right.
Breeze, Harper. Because let's be honest about it. Harper's just as good as a Cesaro, just as good as an AJ, just as good.
He's just like a Swiss Army knife. Yeah, he can do everything.
He's just as good. Tyler Breeze, dude should have been a champion by now.
He should have been fighting for the IC title or US title right now.
Right,
straight up. Maybe not main yet, but it's potential for.
I didn't call Rusev either.
No.
You think about how much talent that you got, that you paying folks.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even get a chance to see him. I guess I'll have to watch main event Superstar to see Tyler Breeze. Yep. And the thing about it is like if I'm a fan of somebody, I want to watch them.
Right.
Just like when I purchased a Progress on demand, and I purchased a Revolution Pro on demand. And Ismilla, shout out to Ismilla, he got the New Japan and the ROH. Anytime I want to see Shibata, I can see Shibata. Anytime I want to see Matt Riddle, I can see Matt Riddle. Anytime I want to see Pete Dunne or Marty Scurll or any of those cats, I can see them. And I don't have to worry about whatever promotion that they work for, keeping them off TV, or I don't get a chance to see them. I can get my fix of whoever I want. But when it comes to WWE, nope.
You got to pick and choose.
I just got to be happy with what they give me.
Right.
That's the problem.
Prison food.
Bread and water.
Like here. This is what you got to eat.
This is what you get.
This is all we get.
What we say, here's some more corn.
Some
more damn corn for you. That's the problem. They give us what they want, what they think we want, instead of what we clearly saying that we want. Because I could most certainly, I could have been fine with Goldberg and Lesnar fighting, period.
No title, just period.
But then you put a title on 50-year-old Goldberg?
Fuck out of here.
You put the Universal title, a title that was not established cleanly when it was created. Mm-hmm. Because the person they wanted got hurt the night that they won it. Then Kevin Owens wins the belt the next night or the next week or whatever. And he's had the belt this whole time. And he loses it in 21 seconds to Goldberg. Goldberg. Been away from the ring for 12 years. When you was in the ring 12 years ago, you wasn't that great anyway.
Right.
Goldberg. That guy. That's who you lost the title to in 21 seconds. The Universal title match should have been KO. Jericho. Mm-hmm. Jericho should have lost the U.S. title to Sammy. Mm-hmm. Sammy should have defended the U.S. title against whoever at WrestleMania.
They could have turned that to the ladder match.
Exactly.
Could have switched it up. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I don't feel we're going to get our ladder match fixed as this WrestleMania. Which, like I said, the whole point of this whole situation is that WrestleMania 33 is looking like a dud just like 32 was.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's a couple of highlights, a couple of things you can pick from it. But other than that, I mean.
But if this is your big card, though, you shouldn't have to pick through it.
No.
You shouldn't have to pick over it. You should be able to sit down at the table at WrestleMania and say, I'm so excited for WrestleMania.
Right.
But how many times have we gone into one of the big 4 pay-per-views in the last year, 2 years, and been like, TakeOver was way better than your Royal Rumble.
They undefeated.
It was way better than your Survivor Series. It was way better than your SummerSlam.
They've been undefeated. No doubt.
NXT is kicking the big 4's ass because every time they was doing the TakeOver with attached to one of the big 4, they're blowing it out the water. So, I mean, now we're at a point now that we're like, once again, I'm excited for TakeOver. And WrestleMania, whatever. Yeah. But it should never be that way.
No, it should. I mean, like I said,
that's like being excited for Summer League, NBA Summer League, more than the regular season.
Yeah. Preseason, NFL, rather than the regular season. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it feels like.
So, that would do it, man.
Yeah.
We gave y'all another movie. It's an hour and 30. I opened up the can of worms. J.Fields just went crazy.
Hey, you know, I got it.
It's pent up.
It's pent up. It's pent.
That was a sensitive topic.
It's pent up, man.
But we ain't gonna.
Thank you for letting me get it off my chest.
No problem, bro. That's why I asked the question because it's been burning up on me. But you pretty much answered the questions of everything I had in my mind.
Yeah.
But
and y'all chime in on that too. Like we'll start a comment. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk wrestling. Post on the page on the iHeart Wrestling page. Y'all get in this. Let us know how you feel.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel too. Because I don't think we the only ones.
No.
I think it's some other folks out there, some other fans out there that feel the same way that we do.
So yeah, please tune in next week to Talking Smack. What I'm talking about, guys, Talking Smack, the GTS podcast.
We had it first.
Yeah, we did. Honestly, we did. Check the archives. Anyway, but check out the other podcasts on 1515 Ave. Go to the Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, GTS, Twitter, also, and Also, make sure you check out the RBU episode. We on that jump for the 150 episode, 150 strong. Shout out to RBU, man. Y'all been putting in that work. Y'all our inspiration. Y'all made this work.
It's gonna be a long time before we get to 150.
But we gonna get there. We gonna get that. We gonna celebrate on the 50th anniversary. 50th episode. So get them champagne bottles ready and everything. Get your glasses ready. We're gonna toast it up. But until next week, we gotta get out of here. It's your boy EJ the King.
J.Fields.
And we got this bitch. Holla.